Hey, you was poppin', man. Yeah, we in the flow right now. We're in the flow. I'm gonna record the second video back to back. Let's go. Okay, so video number 2, different types of SNR. Open, close, and MTF. What does this even mean? You know what I mean? So let's recap the previous video real quick. Okay? We talked about in the previous video two main macro things, which is how SNR is created. We talked about the difference between fresh and tested levels. I gave you guys a little bit of a tip. When you see some of these levels that were fresh, price comes and touches it, but then it keeps on touching the damn thing, like this one over here, it keeps on touching it. What do? You wait for the storyline to turn, right? You wait for which rejection causes the storyline turn. Again, we'll get into details later, but the reason I mentioned that without even talking about storyline beforehand is for the people who already know how to deal with the storyline. You know, as I said, this entire series, guys, real quick, I want to get this out of the way. This entire series is not to teach you guys something from scratch. This entire series is, yes, okay, I'll teach you guys some stuff for sure from scratch, but also for people who already have experience with this stuff, they can just pick and take whatever they like from these videos and add it to their own arsenal. Okay, so let's get right into this one. So what is the topic for today's video? Different types of SNR, open, close, MTF. What is MTF? How to utilize it? Very, very simply. Now, MTF actually has another meaning, but I'm going to give you guys the first meaning that I learned, which is the simplest meaning. All right. So, with SNR, we all know we have the three main types of SNR. We have support or resistance. In this case, is bearish, right? It's a bearish setup. So we're talking about selling from these points, right? What are the three things we have? Well, very simple. We have ourselves the apex, we have the left shoulder, and we have the SBR, the support breaks, turns into resistance, right? So here's something else. Now, of course, as you guys know, before I get into that something else, price can also do something like this, right? It comes up, blah blah blah, boom, maybe it comes over here, and then price can play from here, right? Price comes up, boom, breaks this, price can play from here, right? It doesn't have to just keep on doing QMs. You guys know that stuff, you know what I mean? So an example of this, I'll give you guys an example of this. If you were to hop to the daily real quick, you can see a little bit more detail, you know. An example of this, for example, could be right here. See how price does its little QM thing, right? I don't know what price actually played from over here or over here. Sell, buy, break. So there we go. Okay, so that's what we know price play from, right? We have these, you know. Okay, and this would be considered an example of what I'm talking about right here, which is, oh, I deleted it. Okay, never mind then. Let's go back to this right here. This would be an example of that, you know, on the way down kind of thing. So we have something like this, maybe blah blah, and then price does something like this, right? Price can still come in. Okay, price can still come in. Maybe it goes a bit higher, whatever. Price can still come in and do something like that. So this is still considered SNR. Don't just focus on here. Wait for the reactions. And again, what are the reactions? We'll talk about them in the future. A simple reaction would be a rejection. Simple rejection followed by a break of structure. Again, don't worry about this stuff. We haven't got into entries, guys. We're so early in this whole thing. We just talked about how freaking SNR even forms. Now we're talking about the intricacies a little bit. We're just touching the surface. We're just scratching the surface in terms of intricacies. So don't worry about the entries and the storylines. Don't worry, we're getting right there soon. Okay, so yeah, like this, etc. Okay, cool. So now, what the hell is this whole open close thing about? It's really simple. So I showed you the different forms of SNR just now. Left shoulder, SBR, apex, left shoulder, SBR, apex, left shoulder, RBS, right? All of these different types in terms of bullish and bearish scenarios. But here's another one, okay, which we got. That is open close. Now what does that mean? Now, for those of you guys who know supply and demand, think of hidden base. Okay, so for those of you guys who know S&D, supply and demand, how would you mark your hidden bases? You look for the kissing candles, correct? So okay, let me find an example. You would mark something like this. See, you mark something like this, kissing candles they call it. Okay, for those of you guys who learned some stuff about engulfing from Malaysian traders, right? You guys have learned about DOM, D-O-M, which simply means you take a line and you put it right in between. So you have your kissing candles, right? You have these two kissing candles. You put a line right in between them, just like that. Usually the first candle, not the second one, but usually the first candle, right? I'll give you another example, right? S&D traders would know this. This is considered what? Those kissing candles or whatever BS, right? Okay, now for those of you guys who don't know, this, let me tell you exactly what it is from scratch. Okay, so OHLC or open close candles is simply back to square one. Yes, back to square one. Resistance is created how, guys? Just a quick thing about you guys, man. Resistance is created how? Resistance is created by a buy candle plus sell candle. Correct? Now, OHLC, or excuse not OHLC, open close is created by two of the same candles. So resistance and support. So let me write this again. Bear with me, guys, it's late. Traditional SNR, two candles. Am I right? Two candles, okay? Buy, sell. So we'll put it like this. Buy plus sell, okay? Open close is a little bit different. Still two candles. That's the similarity, but where's the difference? Buy and buy. So with traditional SNR, we have two opposite candles. Buy is opposite to sell is opposite to buy. With here, we have the exact same candles, buy, or sell. So, okay, now I've given you guys the theory. Open, close is the two same candles, buy. Okay, now how do we actually mark this up on the charts? Very, very easy. This is the easiest thing ever, okay? Look for, remember how previously when we look for resistance, if you guys haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and check out the previous video. If you guys haven't checked out the previous video, how do we mark resistance? A buy candle and a sell candle, both of them closing forms of resistance. With open close, let's say we want to look for a sell, right? A resistance form of open close, because understand, we're still going to be using terms like resistance and support because these are different variations of resistance and support. Like when you guys go to the gym, you guys are doing, you know, chest flies, right? These are all some people are doing chest flies, some people are doing, you know, seated bench pressing, some people are doing barbell bench pressing, etc. These are all variations of what? Chest exercises. So you go to the gym to train chest, but you're still going to say, I trained chest yesterday. You're not going to say to everybody, oh, I did incline, I did flat bench. No, you're going to say these are the variations of chest, but I did chest. Yesterday was chest day. That's what you're going to say. So these are all forms of support and resistance. It's just that this is called OHLC. Think of it like that. How do you mark this? Find two of the same candles. So I'll give you an example in a simple form. Resistance. Sell followed by another sell candle. What you have in between will be you mark it right from the first candles, close. First candles, where it kisses. That's why they call it kissing candles. Where it kisses, you mark it. Okay, so you guys may be wondering, okay, Avi, that seems pretty simple. Is this one? Yes, this is, absolutely. Why? Sell, another sell. Now, this seems very simple, very easy, right? Let me show you a couple examples of it. Okay, so right here, right there, right? Okay, now this is where it can get just a little bit, oh man, it's kind of, you know, just a little bit confusing. You may get, hold on, I just want to check something. Okay, cool, interesting. So you notice this, right? So keep an eye on this. Buy, sell. What is this? Resistance. Gets broken. So what is this? Resistance becomes support. We draw a little line right here. See? Price comes back, touches that, flies off. What do we have here? Sell, buy. So let's assume our charts were like this. Our charts were like this. Sell, buy. What do we have here? Support. So we go draw that in. Okay, and you can see how price touches and goes, right? Now you guys be wondering, but Avi, comes down if the freaking, I'm not going to swear on this, freaking thing cut me off, took me off of my break even. Buy, kissing candles. Now I know what you're going to say. Oh, okay, Avi, but then look at the freaking drawdown, bro. It's almost 100 pips that. 90 pips that is. Guys, we're on the freaking weekly time frame. Why are you looking at entries? First thing, why are you looking at entries? Number two, I literally told you this isn't about entries yet. I'm giving you guys the higher perspective. Now, a quick recap of the previous video. We talked about the time frames for higher time frame movements. What are the time frames considered higher time frames? What are the time frames considered lower time frames? HTF, monthly, weekly, daily, LTF, H4, H1. Okay, if you guys know lower time frames, you guys know how to play and operate lower time frames, go for it. I'm here to teach you guys what I'm here to teach you guys. Okay, so yes, see, understand now where, and you know, all these things, where price price is playing from, etc. So this is pretty simple. This part is pretty simple, right? This, for example, just draw it. Okay, look at this. Sell, buy. This is support. Buy, in, buy, and then buy. Okay, that's a freaking dad joke if I've ever heard one. Buy, in between kissing candles. The next candle comes in and touches and goes. Whether it's the next candle, whether it's 6 candles after that, doesn't matter. This is fresh until it gets tested. See this candle? Comes and test it. This is when it gets created, guys. Be very simple about this. Buy, in between kissing candle. Obviously, wait for both the candles to close. Obviously, then you can say, oh, okay, it's closed as a buy as well. In between that is the kissing candles, they call it. Okay, so that's a very, very, very easy way to talk about this. And if you're wondering, right, let's assume that you guys already know how to enter trades and things like that. Yes, absolutely, they can be used for lower time frame plays and things of that nature as well. I'll show you guys some lower time frame plays in the future, but yes, they absolutely can be used for lower time frame plays. Now, I mean, just an example, just off rip, right? We have ourselves the top here, buy, sell. You know, just want to put that out there as a recap, and over here too. Okay, let's assume that this was already tested. This is still valid because we have ourselves the open, high, low, close. Okay, so get used to seeing these things. All right, guys. What do I want to say? Okay, yeah. So the other part. So this is a little bit more difficult part. Think about this like you think about left shoulders. Okay, you guys get what I'm trying to say? Think about what I'm about to tell you guys like the way you think about left shoulders. Where did this come from? Sure, you can argue and say, oh, by the way, guys, check this out, okay? Check out 2 different perspectives right here. Let's say you guys are wondering, Avi, where did this right here come from? If you're wondering, I called this trade out beforehand live on AKFX, my Telegram channel, link in description, and I will actually go and show you guys this. I have all the receipts, so I dare anybody ask me that I dare anybody say I didn't actually take this trade. I'm so proud that I called this trade. This was one of the first ever trades that I called publicly. I'm so proud of it. Okay, I might even get it tatted on me. No, I'm kidding. All right, look, where did this come from? 2 perspectives. First perspective is using the traditional way. This came from a left shoulder. Avi, what are you talking about? How could it possibly come from a left shoulder? That makes no sense. Yes, obviously with these things inside. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm just trying to, really show you guys what I'm talking about. Did you see that? I guarantee you, for people who weren't, didn't have a trained eye, I guarantee you didn't see that. Why is this fresh? Because look, we broke up. This becomes support. See how we break? Look. Hold on, guys. Read the price with me. Listen, and this is so beautiful to me. This is just, you have to understand, the reason why I'm so fluent with this is because I find beauty in this stuff. I really, really find beauty in this stuff. How is a left shoulder created, my friends? Left shoulder, how do we talk about it? Resistance that breaks, supposed to be support, but breaks back again. Isn't that how left shoulder is created? Okay. What is this? Resistance, fresh, buy, sell. This here, price, missed it. Price here, where did it react from? Where did this price react from, guys? Sell, buy, support, break, become resistance, SBR. Look. Okay, now we're not talking about that one. I just want you guys to realize that because we're recapping, right? Buy, sell, resistance. Has this wick touch? No, fresh. Comes here, oh, it's a fresh. Oh, but she breaks. Why does it break? Because we candle body close above. So resistance becomes support. See how price comes down and rejects this, goes up. Resistance breaks, becomes support. Heads up. My throat is so itchy from recording like 3 videos just now, okay? And it all failed except for the last one. God willing, it doesn't fail. Breaks and goes up, right? Now, see? Breaks and goes up. See here. This is the left shoulder. This is the resistance. The resistance breaks, becomes a support. Comes back down, okay? Now, this will no longer be a valid support because it's already been tested. So this is a special case. This is a resistance that doesn't quite like straight break up. It broke and came back and tested. But when price comes back down, it didn't hold. It just breaks. So this is a fresh left shoulder because this, although this was a resistance that broke, now it's a fresh support. Fresh support tested, goes up, comes back down, breaks this level. Now it's a fresh left shoulder, guys. It is a fresh left shoulder. The same way, the exact same way. This, which one is it? These are fresh left shoulders too. Not this one, it was the one lower than this. Where was the one? I marked this and I traded it. I was this one, yeah. So these were left shoulders as well. I know this because I freaking traded it as well. I'm so proud of this one as well. This was the area, and I waited for the reaction like that. Okay, this is the left shoulder. This is the resistance. This is what is this? Before this, what is this? Apex, left shoulder. Look, fresh, never touched before. Left shoulder, apex, support, break, becomes resistance. Never touched before, right? Fresh, right? Oh, but she breaks. She breaks up. Breaks up. See this? Resistance. Comes support. You can see how it wicks. And then eventually breaks. Now this is a fresh left shoulder. That's it. Very, very simple. You can see how this one breaks, becomes a support. It's just interchangeable, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And you can see how it never rejected, right? And it broke. And you can see how she continues most of the time. Most of the time it continues. So again, what's this video about? Open, close. Now you guys know what is open, close. It's so easy. So easy. Now, back to this. That was the first way, right? Remember I told you, that was the first way. What's the second way? Second way is this. Yes, if you're wondering. Absolutely. Yes, if you're wondering. Absolutely. Yes, if you're wondering. Absolutely 100%, my friends. 100%. Obviously this one is a higher area. So we'll get into a little bit more details in the future. Just want to see how long this video is, see whether I can fit those details right now. 17 minutes? Yeah, I can fit those details in right now. Okay. I want you guys to try and understand why something like this would even be considered a form of SNR. OHLC is this kind of SNR, right? Open and close is this form of SNR. Because if we were to look at price like this, think of it as support and resistance. This is support, correct? Why is this support? This is the bullish version of the buy candle followed by buy candle, correct? Resistance would be what? Bearish version, sell candle, correct? Very simple. Okay, like this. This one. Look here. Look here, guys. Look here. Buy, sell, resistance created. This candle here comes up, tests this and goes down. Look, sell, sell. Kissing candles. This will be another entry opportunity. And this, and this. Be aware. I'm not saying which one is the right one to enter. I'm saying be aware. Okay, very, very important. Now this is support. It was once support. Buy, support. But it doesn't hold. So what now? Support break become resistance. Simple, man. Simple things like this. That's why we draw that like that. Okay? That is why we draw it like that. Same thing here. You're wondering, buy, sell. Oh, she doesn't react. Okay, later it reacts, but buy, sell. Oh, she doesn't. What is this wick? See this wick here? This is on the weekly, by the way. So there's a lot of like things in here you can do. Right? This is the weekly. Where did she react from? Right here, brother. Buy, support, but she doesn't respect it, breaks it with the candle close. Then this becomes a resistance. You can look at this. You can argue with me and look at this as, oh, maybe it's the left shoulder. Yeah, you can look at it like that. But understand, this is a support, fresh, but it got broken, never respected. So support become resistance. Simple, easy. That's it. Nothing to worry about. Okay. So be aware of these things. That's all I'm asking you to be. It's not about where you enter, when you enter, which one's the right one. No, be aware of these things. Now, I want to give you guys a bit of a tip. When you have something like this is a very beautiful example, and I'll tell you why it's a very beautiful example. We have the apex, okay, 1. We have the left shoulder, okay, 2. We have the open close resistance, okay, 3. We have the freaking open close in this way resistance, okay, 4. We have the freaking support break become resistance traditional way. Which freaking one do you want me to sell? Look, if you look, each of it had its reaction. Maybe not this one, but here had a reaction. Here had a reaction. Third week had a reaction. How do we know, oh, next week is not going to come? Listen, this is what I like to do. Write this down somewhere. When I have 3 or more areas, the areas which I will be most confident in entering from, you want to know which one? I'll tell you. You want to know what happens when I have more than 2? If I have 2, both very good, very nice to look at. But if I have more than 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, more than 2, what do? I only take the top 2. Sometimes I may miss entries. It is what it is. If you don't like it, like you only take the top 2, okay, no problem. Pick 2. Pick 2 random ones out of these, okay, that your experience says is probably going to hit, right? My experience now, okay, listen to this, beautiful. My experience tells me that I should only take the POIs within here. And I'll tell you why. My experience says I should only take this, and I should not even bother too much about this. Sometimes I've been wrong, by the way. Sometimes price comes here, touches, drops off. Okay, no problem. But my experience tells me here. Do you want to know why? Because this, and again, you cannot even dare say I'm leaking anything. This is not, I have had 7 mentors. I've talked about this in the past. I have had 7 mentors teach me this. Not one of them told me about this. Not one. Okay? I learned this. Which one? Why above this one? Because I've learned that, now write this down, the best open close POI on higher time frame. So we're dealing with what? Monthly, weekly, daily, right? The best open close to deal with is the one within a engulfing candle, or OB, engulfing candle, OB, whatever you want to call it. Is the one within there. Not just randomly the ones in between. Yes, like this one is a random one in between, right? We don't know if it's going to touch this, we don't know if it's going to touch this. That's why we have ourselves a little bit of SOP to follow. But the best ones, if you want to place a limit, etc., will be within the last buy before sell candle. That will be the best OHLC to look for. Okay, but again, let's assume that you have, okay, let's assume that you have all of this. My usual thing that I like to go for is just take the top 2. I don't know why I didn't highlight it. Just take the top 2. That's usually what I just go with. That's what I usually go with. So for example, right, in this case, I'll give you another example. So let's say price is here. I'm looking at this. Guys, look at what I have to deal with. Okay, look at what I have to deal with. Okay, wait. First, let me draw this, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, look what I have to deal with right here. We have this buy becomes support, right? Support breaks, becomes resistance in the future. And then we have the buy sell, traditional, just a traditional resistance. And we have this buy sell as well, traditional resistance, same thing like here. Boom. When I'm in doubt, take one out. That's what I say. And I just have these 2 to deal with. That's, when you want to reduce your risk, etc. Right? So I mean, I could go on and on. It's just the same thing. There's really nothing much else I wanted to add. I just wanted to tell you guys that little bit of a detail. So when I have something like this, I would just prefer to take just the top 2 most, right? Sometimes maybe I just take these 2. As long as it's only 2. That's what I like to split my risk with. Just 2 areas, that's it. Because otherwise you're going to have so many opportunities to trade from, man. You just won't even know which one. Like, I mean, if you ask me, oh, okay, why not even just take a sell from here? Why not take a sell from here? These are both untested. Price didn't even reach it, right? These are both untested. Why not just do that? But be smart is what I'm saying. Like, if you look at this, in this case, what do we have? Apex, left shoulder, sell, buy, support, break, become resistance. But if I were to take this off, I would have missed the trade. But it came down here, which is why I'll wait for a reaction here. What's my reaction? I want to wait for a rejection and a storyline start. And then be like, okay, rejection, I can take the trade from there. So that, my friends, is how we use the open close. That is what the open close is. Not about how we use the open close. That is what it is in the first place. Okay, if you look at this one, this is on the weekly, by the way. Right, if you look at this, on the daily, for example, you'll see the rejection. Right, it went in and rejected back up, about 100 pips. See? Weekly, daily. Okay, so now we have ourselves what? MTF to cover. If we go look at this, different types of SNR, open, close, MTF. What is MTF? Now guys, there's another more in-depth version of MTF, but what is MTF in a simple sense? In this current sense that I'm trying to teach you guys, what is MTF? MTF simply means more than one time frame in the same area. More than one time frame zone in the same area. So I'll give you an example. For example, this right here. Weekly, correct? Go to daily. And I'm like, oh shit. There's a daily right here. Okay, and look, this is the weekly line. This is the weekly line. In the weekly line, right at it or above can be my MTF. So in this case, I'm very lucky. Right at the weekly line, I have a open close. Okay, and above it, now I can't use this. I can't use this open close. Why? Buy is support, break becomes resistance. But see this wick? This wick has already touched it. This one here passed and broke this. This wick, see this black one? See this black one here? Look, 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 black one here. Pay attention, man. Breaks. This wick now comes up and touches this and went off. But here we created a sell. This is a new open close. Okay, this is a daily, MTF with a weekly. This is a daily, MTF with a weekly. And yes, you can have H4, H1, whatever as well. Yes, you can. Absolutely. In this case, it didn't work out. Okay, cool, no problem. Right, but I'm just trying to show you guys an example of what I'm trying to say. So I'll give you another example of an MTF. Right? This is something that another trade that I'm very proud of. This is weekly, correct? Now let me just go, just for the fun of it, just go and check whether there's anything on monthly. Oh, okay, nothing on monthly, no problem. So if you were to look at this, weekly, correct? Weekly resistance. Now, in this same area or above, there should be something on the daily. So in this case, what? In the exact same area or above it, obviously not below. If it's, this is weekly, right? If below, then that's not in the weekly. It's below the weekly, correct? If it's weekly resistance, it must be at that or above. If it's weekly support or whatever support, it must be at that or below because it's support. Anything above that, that's not at the support. That is above the support. It's not within it. It's not a refinement, etc. Right? So this is the weekly, and it so happens to be that there's a daily inside as well, and there's daily above, and there's dailies above. Excuse me, slurred over the words there. Right? Again, I can't use this one. Buy. That is a support. Breaks by this candle. This here already touched it. You see? So yeah. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, and yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show y'all. That's what MTF is. It's just when you have two or more, so basically more than one time frame in the exact same area. Okay, so I don't know if you wanna back test this, we could. This is weekly, right? And let's still look at the monthly real quick. So look, monthly was like that. See monthly? See, we're trying to get this. Look at this buy candle. We're trying to get that. Sell, buy, support. This candle doesn't touch it. It's still fresh. Price comes in, touches the rest. So this is the monthly. So before we even look at the buy, monthly, go to weekly. We're like, oh shit. So happens to be so convenient that there's a weekly in the exact same spot as a monthly. That's really nice. That's really convenient. Okay. We can't choose this. Resistance break becomes support. Why? Because it's already been tapped. I think we talked about this in the previous video. Buy, sell, resistance, break, becomes support. Tapped and goes, right? Now look, this is weekly, MTF monthly. Let's go and see what's popping on the daily real quick, right? Oh wow, would you look at that? Buy, sell, resistance, break, becomes support. So we have a daily, we have a weekly, and a monthly in the exact same spot. Now again, see how it still came down, touched the left shoulder, touched the apex. This MTF, as I said, is not an entry point. MTF is an area to look for an entry. Perhaps you could argue. Yes, you could refine it within there. But you see, this is where the monthly was. Look at my cursor. This is where the monthly was. So your MTF can be at that or below. In this case of a bullish, or if it's bearish, it can be at that bearish or above. Okay. So here, what do we call this? We will be calling this daily, MTF weekly, MTF monthly. Daily, MTF weekly, MTF monthly. Why? Because it's inside this. This is the most perfect one. Daily, MTF weekly, MTF monthly. And you can see how even though a lot of people think, oh, if I have daily, weekly, monthly, that's the exact area I can enter. No, look, I've given you so many examples when it just still pierces through. How many pips? 41 pips it pierces through. My gold stop loss is 30 to 32 pips. 32 because of accounting for spreads, whatever. But like, you get my point, okay? So you would definitely been stopped out by like 11 pips, 10 pips, okay? Because from 30 to 41. So yeah, man, that's pretty much that. Just a quick revision. You know, we have ourselves the over here. This is not a left shoulder because this is just a wick, right? So okay, this is the left shoulder though because we have a body close below it. So when the body closes below this support, why is this support? Sell by support. Body close below it. Oh, it's a resistance. Oh, but it breaks up again too. So this becomes the left shoulder. Open close. Resistance becomes support. Why is this resistance? Buy sell. Resistance breaks becomes support. Where did price come from? Here. Yeah, where did price come from? There. Sorry, not here. Here. Where did price go from? Guys, don't miss this, man. Hold on. No. Think. Price here. Look left. Look to the left. Oh, that's the best thing I should have said. Look to the left. Where do you think price came from? While I sip this water. You see it? I'll give you a hint. It's not a traditional SNR. It's open close. Oh wow, okay, on this broker, I'm actually surprised. On this broker, it touched. Silly me. But yeah, that's where. I don't know, I forgot. I took this trade, but I just completely forgot how it went. But yeah, you get the point. Why? Buy, resistance. Sorry, buy, support. What am I saying? Buy, support. Breaks that, becomes resistance. Breaks that, becomes support. Let's see, maybe there's an MTF. I don't know. I don't think there's an MTF. What do you know? What do you know? Weekly support. Sell, buy. Weekly support. Okay, by the way, if you're wondering, yes, it does actually touch. I'm not just trying to bullshit you guys. But anyway, it's usually different brokers print differently anyways. But yeah, sell, buy, support. Fresh. Go to the daily. And you have that reason right there. Buy, support breaks, becomes resistance. Resistance supposed to hold price. Nope, it doesn't, it breaks up. So support turns to resistance turns to support. And then we get the support action right there, right? And then again over here, you know, it just stacks pretty much. And yeah, you would play the storyline. And again, over here where price turn, you would see that. Oh, okay, you can dissect it like that. Okay, cool. You know, where did price go? This is a weekly. Look at the weekly. Look. Weekly resistance. Let's try and MTF that. Weekly. Oh, daily. Interesting. Okay, let's go to H4. You know what I mean? Okay, how can I play this then? Let's go to H4, and you're like, okay, what do we have on the H4? Have ourselves freaking hell, bro. This is why I don't like to use TradingView. Okay, sell, buy. What is that? Support, sell, buy. Breaks becomes resistance. Okay, this is what within that weekly daily thing, and then you got ourselves the other one right above here. So what would this be? H4 fresh, right? Buy, sell, so it's resistance. H4 MTF with a daily. Look, MTF with a daily. Why MTF? Because this is, in this case, it's not exactly there. It's a bit above. Yes, that's good. That's a refinement. So it's even better, in fact. H4 MTF with the daily. MTF with the monthly, and there we are. And the next one comes about right here. Okay. Case we just blurt up straight away, right? So we have to understand where price came in over here. When price just breaks, we have to understand where did price come in over here. In this case, if I'm not wrong, price came from some freaking monthly. So let's go look at the monthly if I'm not wrong with this little area. Yeah, right there. This is a beautiful trade. This entire run up was my biggest ever profit ever. Biggest profit ever was from the entire run up. So that was this is the monthly. This is price for the first time touching the monthly. So this one hadn't touched the monthly. This one hadn't touched the monthly. This is the first time price touched the monthly. You can look at that. No joke, right here. Okay, and then you know you would refine it, blah blah blah. And this would be the monthly. So you're seeing like if there's anything in here in this little wake up, because on the daily there's nothing. So you go to the H4 and see, okay, you know, what's in there. Be like, oh, okay. This is a left shoulder here that's already been taken. It's an open close that's already been taken. You go lower. I can't remember why I entered this trade, but I did. Okay, it's just very convenient, isn't it? But yeah, you get the point. So yeah, and then you would see, you know, what sort of storyline it started and things like that. So if you were to look at it over here, you know, we did a monthly reject monthly. Those are your storyline guys, and then broke up on the weekly. Or if it's too early, you know, then we would do monthly reject monthly is what I'm trying to say. Monthly reject the monthly, and then we should check the daily. We should check the weekly, whether storyline started or not. We'll get into that anyway in the future videos. I'm already slurring on my words, bro. I'm not trying to drag this video on too much, but here you've learned what MTF is. It's when there's a zone, an SNR zone, more than one time frame in the same area. Right? I've given you guys ample opportunities, ample discussions about this, like this one, okay. I don't think I've done this one though. Let's just see though. Right, over here we have what, weekly. Let's go look at the monthly first. Let's go look at the monthly first. It's always best practice. Look at the monthly. Okay, nothing on the monthly. Fine, no problem. We go weekly then. So weekly, what is this resistance? Okay, we go to daily. We just practice it just like that to see what we can get. Okay, I don't see anything on the daily over here. There's nothing really important on the daily. Let's go H4. You know, just see what it goes. See what happens. See where. Okay, nothing here. As I said, MTF. You will usually use MTF when you're trying to find a zone that has, like, when you're trying to find an area which has multiple time frames with the same zone in the same area, right? So you have one area, let's say monthly, and then you have the weekly, and you have the daily in the same area. And then from the weekly daily, you go and refine some more, H4, H1, and they're all sort of roughly in the same area. Then you enter from the H4, H1 just when it touches. That's the highest risk entry, but it's the most violent move, so it's very quick, so you get risk-free very quick, because I'm risk-free 50 to 70 pips. And it's also the best entry you can get. High risk entries are the best entries you can get in the sense of, like, right here. So in this entry right here, if I'm not wrong, what I did was weekly. Obviously I can't go back on the H4, but weekly, and I went to daily because there's nothing on the monthly. So weekly, and then I went to daily, and then I said that, and then I hope I can go H4. There's no shot I can go H4. Oh my god, I can. Praise the Lord, I can. Okay, look, daily, weekly. Okay, this is not the open close. Okay, this is daily. This is MTF with the weekly, and then this, and then this, or there might have been like a H1 or something in here because I can't see that, right? And boom, just like that, right? 30 pips drawdown. That one was. There had to have been like a H1. You know what I mean? So that's how the flow goes. I'm on the H4. Right? Let's see. There's no shot I can go H1. There's no shot. Yeah, I can't. But anyway, you get the point, right? So that is what the MTF is. And then I would just take a touch trade, they call it, a touch trade, when price just goes there, no confirmation, nothing. You know, I would use trend lines as a confluence, right? And I would just take that touch trade, just like that. When price just touches it, this is what? Hey, there was definitely a H1 in here. H1, H4, daily, right? That's the H4 right there. And then that's the daily. The daily, and then MTF with the weekly. So it's all just inside. When I learned supply and demand from a certain somebody that's actually very big in the trading space, I learned from him, this is actually known as nested entries. Nested entries meaning there are zones that you've entered from that are nested inside of higher time frame zones. So you got the weekly, and so you got the H1, H4 daily that's nested inside the weekly. And the reason why I don't include the monthly is because there was nothing on the monthly. Look, if I go and check on the monthly, there's nothing on the monthly, right? And just a quick recap on the open close things. This would be considered an open close. Just want to put that out there. Okay, sell, right in there. If you're wondering, oh, 1, 2, 3, tested. Which one? Whichever rejection causes a new storyline to start. That's your best bet at saying that this is already tested. This is already started to move in that direction of the storyline. So yeah, I think you guys will benefit a lot from these two videos so far, but I think you'll benefit most from the intro to storyline. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.